Everybody, coming at you from the States. I'm Nick.
And I'm Danny.
And we're returning to March Guitar Madness, where a man puts up 8 guitars where only 1 can stay and 7 must go, and you lovely people watching these videos can help make said sad decision. It is what it is, folks. This round, though, this is interesting. This is the internet darling from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, to the internet darling from today, where it's the Agile AL-2000 versus the Harley Benton the Harley Benton E-35, which is the original, very Gibson-esque shape with the very Gibson-esque headset. And the original AL-2000 that you heard Danny rip through both of them. So I've played them. We've kind of gone through it myself. So Danny, what are your opinions? What do you think of that guy?
All right. So the AL-2000, in case you're not familiar, these are very nice Les Paul style guitars sold by Rondo Music. And these have a special place in my heart, if you will. I'm a big fan of Agiles.
It's unfortunate you can't see what I see from this view, but I can count many in the view behind where the camera is right now.
Yes. I was introduced to this line of guitars many years ago while searching on the internet, reading about different types of guitars and whatnot. I have a couple of Gibson Les Pauls, but I wanted to get some more affordable and expensive, guitars that are similar to Les Pauls that I could modify, I could have fun with, not worry about damaging, and basically just have a lot of fun with them. And I bought an Agile a few years ago, and it's a fantastic guitar. I also joined the A Guitar Forum, which is the former Agile Guitar Forum. So I just wanted to give
AGF.
Just wanted to give them a quick shout out.
Oh yeah.
I spent some time there. There's some very good peeps there, and
it should come with a cautionary tag though.
Yes.
Like you will end up with N times as many guitars as you already have.
Absolutely.
If you join there.
But there's very good people there, and it's not just about Agiles that they talk about. People on that forum are pretty crazy in a good way. And it can go from Squire to the highest end Gibson.
And children, cover your ears. This is a family channel, but there's a definite lacking in douchebaggery there that you can sometimes see. Especially so, if you like less expensive guitars, some of the other forms that are awesome sometimes can be less tolerant of you or much more dismissive as just Chinese junk. Or Korean junk. Or not Gibson, Fender, custom shop junk. You know, like they do that sometimes.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fine. You know, I mean, every guitar has its place. You know, it's up to the musician and the consumer to decide what guitar they want. You know, and you know, I don't care if you have a super cork sniffery approved, you know, VOS Gibson
tone wool polished,
right? You know, right with the finest tone woods, you know, and this very humble and well made Korean import, Agile AL-2000s. So this guitar, you know, I understand this guitar. I have a few AL-2000s that I've modified over the years, and I like playing them. Solid guitar. It's your typical Les Paul style clone, if you will. You know, it's got the two humbuckers, and it performs like this type of guitar should. So when I played this guitar, it didn't feel any different than I would if I was playing an Epiphone, you know, Les Paul or a Gibson Les Paul. Same deal. Similar types of tones. This has the ceramic humbuckers in it, which
actually have some soul to them.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they're stock pickups, you know, and you know, and they do the job. You know, they sound good.
This is stock, but they're amazing modding platforms.
Great modding platforms. So if you want to throw in, you know, some Seymour Duncans, what have you, you know, have at it. You know, and that's the beauty of this guitar, is that you can customize it, you can make it your own. And you won't, you know, throw a fit if it gets smashed.
And they don't make the AL-2000 anymore. It was replaced kind of with two models, the AL-1900, which is a bolt neck. Sacre bleu, a bolt neck, Allah, zut alors.
Fox made some nice bolt necks in the 70s.
There's a lot of good bolt necks. And there are people, that's an argument we could have another day, but there are people that will swear that you get more sustain out of a bolt neck versus what, I don't know. They know more than me. So the in the AL-2500, which I briefly had a Gecko one, that came in, it had a few issues, and I ended up returning it. They're great about the return, but they said they're out of stock, even though they had 37 of them.
Oh, well.
No, I don't know. I moved on from that. It was not, that particular one was having a bad day.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you one thing. After we finished playing everything, because we recorded all the videos for play video first, then we did these, Danny couldn't remember playing the Agile, which might say something. It might say something about his hobbies of playing all the rest of his other Agiles.
I could not remember playing the Agile because I was so smitten by that Squire.
He's in Squire love.
Because, you know, it was just a whole different thing. But no, I liked playing this guitar. It felt very comfortable to me. I'm very used to this guitar. And I wanted to point out the very interesting flame veneer on it, which is, you know... It has a very unique personality.
It is bookmarked properly. It's just this side just didn't quite get as much flame as the other side. Maybe when they pressed it in or whatever, it lost the depth.
It's all good. It's all good. So so my final statements on this. It's a very good guitar. You know, and yeah.
Switch it up to the myth, the legend, the E-35 from your friends and mine at Tillman, Harley Benton.
Now, this guitar I had played before, not this particular guitar, but this model I played before. My father actually has one in tobacco burst, and These are very, very cool guitars. Very affordable. How much in US dollar?
I bought that for $135 plus the $11 or $12 shipping. So I mean, under $150 is what I originally bought it for.
Right.
They did retire it and replace it with an HB-35, which is not. It's a little more like, if you remember the Yamaha double cutaway kind of similar style bodies from the 70s with a flip switch up here, and the tones there. It's a little narrower. I've got a video up. You can go check it out. So they replaced it with that, and it made these kind of a bit of a unicorn where people kind of wanted them. And I had a Bigsby on it with a Towner down tension bar, played it a bunch, and then it sat there for the rest of the 6 or 8 months because I had a lot of other stuff. And I was like, this might be fun to throw in because people like it. And if I'm not playing it, let's put something back into the pool that someone else will enjoy. And then I made the decision. I went out and said I was going to do it, and then I picked it up and played it, and that was kind of a mistake in order.
This guitar is it's cool. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't blown away by it when I played it clean.
Mm-hmm.
But again, maybe that had something to do with the amp. Maybe it's the
ceramic I think it's
pickups.
the pickups.
Could be the pickups. When I played it clean, it wasn't as warm sounding as some other guitars that that I've played or that I own that are similar to this style of guitar.
Yep.
It did what it had to do. The action on this one, the setup, is also a tad high.
Yeah.
A little higher than I like a little bit of height. This one's a little higher, so it was harder for me to play. But I wasn't blown away by the clean sounds I was getting out of it. But then when I played it cranked, it sounded good.
Yeah. She likes to be driven. She likes the Chuck Berry stuff. She likes the Stone stuff. She likes that's this guitar's sweet spot out of the box.
Yeah.
And she's a new set of pickups and maybe a wiring harness away from being, a really good killer of a guitar.
Right. If I owned this guitar,
mm-hmm.
what I would do with it is I would do a pickup swap, and I would do some fuller, bigger pickups, bigger sounding pickups. And I would put the Bigsby back on, and I would customize this and make it my own.
Yep.
Because number one, Thomann doesn't make this shape anymore. This is more than half the price of an Epiphone dot,
mm-hmm.
And it feels just like any other dot that I played. It's your typical. 335
with a healthy neck.
Really nice neck. Sounds good, especially driven. But this is definitely a great modding platform.
The money that the initial cost, and even the HB-35, same deal, slightly different look, but same. I think the same caveats apply. Put a new set of strings on it, play it. It plays great dirty, which is nice. But I think when you want to get to some of the buttery cleans, if you're used to a semi-hollow Gibson with 57 classics in it,
right?
It doesn't have that warm depth.
No.
And even doing some tomfoolery with a Soul Food or an Archer or something like that, you'll get it warmer, but it's still not that same thing.
Right. But of course, this is obvious, but keep in mind, this is not a Gibson 335.
Right.
This is not...
It's 1/10 the price.
Yeah, it's not
of
made...
a used one and even that would be a very cheap used one.
Right. Now, if you get the Gibson, that's obviously a great investment. It becomes an heirloom. It's a piece of Americana. It's art made from the finest tone woods,
and when it gets damaged, you have to call your therapist.
But that's fine. That's fine. You know, you know, they're great guitars. But you know, if you're watching these videos, you're in a specific market, a specific segment. That people are interested in sub $500 guitars, you know, and this is a nice guitar.
To give Thomann credit, right? This is part of their, what's it called? The V7 series, vintage series. It's not even their deluxe line, so this is almost as cheap as they get when they make it, and it's pretty surprising. It's not bad. So, you know, and for the money, it's a good spot to start. I actually would love it if they came out with a one step up with Wilkinson pickups in it and kind of set up right, maybe with a Chigsby on it or whatnot. But if you had to choose of these two, which one would you choose, Mr. Denny?
Personally, I would choose this one because I already have
the
Agile AL-2000s, and you know, if you're a hobbyist, if you're into modding guitars and that type of thing, you know, if you play out or just, you know, play in a band or play at home, you know, having an AL-2000 is a great thing to have in your arsenal because you can do a lot with them. They're great guitars,
and one of the world's best modding platforms. I mean, to pick up something under $200 used, you can find them pretty much all day long there. Although they're getting a little more scarce, but with Grovers, nice set neck, solid weight that just kind of sing.
Right.
It's a really nice. It's a nice thing.
Yeah, but I would keep this one not only because I already have, you know, guitars like that, but this guitar with different pickups, I think you could really have some fun with it, you know, and throwing a Bigsby on it. This thing can do probably even more varieties of music that you know. It's just a great guitar to work with.
If you haven't owned a semi-hollow, larger body kind of guitar,
right,
go play a few because it's a different beast than a Les Paul. It's different than a Strat, different than a Tele. Like it's its own thing,
right?
And it does some stuff that are just filthy.
No. I mean, this will allow you to play clean very well. You know, you'll sound great playing it, and driven. This guitar it'll really take care of you. Again, I'm not knocking the AL-2000,
no.
You know, but there are lots of guitars like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a great guitar, but I think I will keep this one.
Sweet.
So those are my thoughts.
Cool. Use the wonderful YouTube poll feature. Vote. Let us know. We're going to do some sort of live show when we get to the final two of Guitar Madness 2016. Thanks, though, for everyone that participated. It's been a lot of fun. I didn't know how this would go. For me, it was an excuse. I've talked about selling off some stuff for a while, and it was like, how do I get off my ass and do it? And this makes it fun. It makes selling stuff fun, and the participation on the channel has been kind of awesome. I've had a lot of fun chatting with everyone. So, awesome. With that, and if you want to see some great videos of someone rocking one of these out, and it's stock, I believe. There's a guy called the Southmark on YouTube. I'll put a link down below. I think he's a British guy. And he just tears through like rockabilly and stuff with his, and it's killer. So go check his stuff out. With that, I've been Nick.
And I'm Danny.
And obviously we've got issues. Take care, folks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, anytime, man. We're going to try and make this a regular once-a-month-ish thing.
We'll
see how it goes.
Try to get this going.
And we may just call that Guitar Madness. Because between Danny and I, every month, there's always something new. Shh. The wives may be watching. All right, folks. Take care.
Bye-bye.